Morning everyone, it's Laura T at Dream Deals 123 on eBay, and I'm the Silver Owl Thrifter on YouTube. Welcome. I made $108 overnight. Let's break it down. I got my dog treat right there ready. Let's break it down and see how much was profit. And I've been having trouble with my videos. I meant to upload, I think I'm a day late, a day behind, and just as I had gotten to 1,000 subscribers, so I made a little celebration video, and everything just went all wrong. I couldn't. My storage is completely full and all messed up, and it's like no matter how, I just deleted everything that I thought I could possibly delete, and they still didn't have storage. So my sister walked me through buying extra storage on the phone, which I did, but then today I looked at it and it still looks like I don't have a lot of storage. So this is kind of a test. I'm kind of going to go long here, see what happens. So, and the funny thing is, I'm glad I didn't post the, hey, I got 2,000 subscribers, because somebody unsubscribed and I went from 1,000 to 999 overnight. So the universe knew that wasn't time. It was not time. It was not time yet. We'll get there. In the meanwhile, I've got my celebration video all queued up and ready to go. Okay, what did we sell? I sold this Le Cove plus size 18W blue floral. Got a lot going on here. I got a dog to feed. I got stuff to show. Floral, yeah, just a swimsuit, not just a tankini. One piece bathing suit, swimwear, side tie. It's very cute. And this sold for $14 and $5 shipping for a total of $19. And I paid $3, and I made $9 on this. I sold a set of scrubs. Don't do a lot of scrubs, but I know Figs is a good brand, but I just don't find it very much. And I think Thrift of Life said it was getting a little saturated, so maybe that's it. But I did sell this set. Let's see how much I actually made. It's a scrub set, medium blue Cherokee scrub top and Dickies cargo scrub pants with a drawstring. Paid $2, so it's a different brand, and I put it together. I think I bought it as a set. I don't know what I did. Anyways, I paid $2 total, and they paid $14 plus $5 shipping for a total of $19. So I made $9 on that. Sold some more seersucker. This seersucker, it's like kind of bumpy fabric, and it's a lot of times it's stripes, greens, blues. Very cool and comfortable, like a cotton. And this men's XXL red stripes seersucker short sleeve button down shirt, Dockers. Don't buy a lot of Dockers, but it was seersucker. It was 2XL. Didn't make a boatload of money off of it. $8 they paid, $5 shipping. Paid $2, they paid $13. I made $5. Everybody's having a good day. What are you guys doing for the 4th? I'm filming this on the 3rd, so I should be saying, what are you doing today for the 4th? Hopefully. So far, so good. We've gone 4 minutes. All right. I sold this J. Jill linen blend sweater tunic dress top 3X. J. Jill, and it's 3X, and it's linen blend. Oops, sorry about that. Log and Look. This was my best sale for the day. $34.06. Kind of sheer, and I showed that. I hope I showed that. Just realized when you hold it to the light, but it's fine. $34.06 for 40. I paid $5. I made $24 on this. They paid $40, and I made $24. So I made No, something else. Yes, these, I've been selling Christmas stuff lately. Christmas does sell. A set of, excuse me, 3 of these real cute little reindeer linens. I got a whole bunch of this kind of stuff for very low price, and I want to talk about that. Santen's 3 Christmas reindeer hand towels, $1 I paid. They paid $10 plus $7 shipping, so they paid $17. I paid $1. I made $9 on that, so that's not bad. So I made $108 gross, and after fees and everything, well, gross total this year $23,946, coming up on a strong 24,000 there, and I've made 12,540 net. So yeah, I wanted to talk about, well, just I was listening to Shirley's World vlog, and she was talking about how scared her dog gets with the fireworks, you know, because these days fireworks for 4th of July go on like the week before, especially if there's a weekend and it's on a fright. 4th of July, Laura, not Halloween. My dog is just like climbing over my barricade to get here. Okay, go lie down. Go sit down. Go lie down. Here. Oh, she knows. She knows. I say go lie down and then I get her one. So it's not that far. Go work for that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. Anyways. And it got me to thinking, you know, her dog is so scared, and they're always doing this. And a lot of young people maybe and new dog owners don't realize just how scared dogs can get from fireworks. And let me tell you, here's a little story about, and it'll tie in, believe me. Okay, so I don't know where to start here. I was working. After I graduated high school, I went to California at 17. I had a very dysfunctional home life, and I was drinking, doing drugs. You know that term hot mess? That's me. That started with me. You know, I was a mess. And then I came back from California, still a mess, got a job at a restaurant, and kept drinking, kept doing drugs, and lived the lifestyle that went along with that kind of living. And, you know, I was living in poverty. I was just drinking from morning to night sometimes and doing drugs. Really, really heavy, really messed up. Started drinking and doing drugs when I was 12. Anyways, just to kind of paint a picture. And I wasn't very good in high school because I wanted to get out of high school, so I took the bare minimum to pass. My parents were not at all really involved in my high school. They didn't tell me to study. My dad told me, quite frankly, that he would not pay for me to go to college. And I grew up in a very, very wealthy area. Think John Hughes. My high school was where Ordinary People was filmed. Actually, working at this restaurant, I waited on Robert Redford when he was filming it. So very, very wealthy area, but my dad had a little gambling problem, and my mom was going through some problems too with, she got in a car accident, got on pain medicines that led to alcohol, and it was just a mess. It was the 70s. It was fun times. People were big changes were going on, a lot of it with women and stuff. So which kind of ties into this. So I had been living this very, you know, reckless lifestyle for most of my life. And then one day I was reading this Self magazine, and there was an article in there talking about how, you know, whatever you believe about yourself and your life, that's, you know, the self-image, and thinking well of yourself, you're going to do better. So I started thinking about that. Started thinking maybe I wasn't exactly living the best, treating myself as well as I should be. So I basically tried to quit drinking and doing drugs, couldn't do it, or not couldn't do it, but it wasn't going very well. One night it just got so bad that I went to the hospital. Well, this is another whole story here. Well, my mom had a drinking and drug problem, and she had always she had quit. She had quit by then, many years sober, and she was telling me about this Dr. Wendell at the local hospital that helped her so much. And for years I had been hearing about this Dr. Wendell. And so I was working like a triple shift that day. I got up in the morning. I was double work, like it was a Saturday. I was working the bar and the front door and the restaurant because it was slow, and our boss was really cheap, and he would have us like take on all the different positions so that he wouldn't have to hire people. So I was, and I knew I had this really super busy day. I had banquets that night, and then we also had a comedy club there, and I was the hostess of the comedies club. So I was up all day, and my grandmother, father, and people were coming in for dinner that night too. That's the day I decided to just go cold turkey and quit everything. Well, about 8 or 9 at night, I was feeling so bad, and it was a really, really, really big restaurant and bar and everything. And I didn't know everybody there, even though, because they were always hiring new people, especially over at the other side, which was like the discotheque cocktail bar, where I had worked sometimes, but I wasn't working there then. Anyway, so I was over there, and just kind of sitting at the bar, getting ready for the comedy club, feeling bad. I think maybe I was drinking some wine because I was just feeling so bad. And drinking on the job was just a common occurrence at that place. So anyways, this cocktail waitress came up to me, who I had never seen before. I didn't know. And she says, "Hey, she goes, you doing okay? You don't look so good." And I said, "No," I said, "I'm not doing too good. I'm trying to, I've been doing drugs and drinking for about 13 years, and I think I'm trying to quit today." And she said, "There's this Dr. Wendell right over at the hospital over here. I think he could help you." And it just like clicked. I was like, yeah, I got to go see Dr. Wendell. So I just went to one of my coworkers. I said, "I got to go." I said, "Tell my family I'm sorry." And I just drove myself over to the hospital, and I actually was in their detox ward for a couple of days before they decided, kind of mutually decided, myself included, that I needed a little more help, and they put me into the psychiatric ward. And I stayed there for 30 days in the psych ward there. And I got a diagnosis of being manic depressive, which I think was a misdiagnosis, but it was meant to be, because let me tell you what happened after that. So all of this started because I was trying to, I felt like I could have a better life. And I was saying, I remember thinking, and there was a lot of thought going up into all of this. I've been struggling for years. And then I finally was like, is this how it's going to be? Am I going to be, I'd see people who had worked in this town. It was just a crazy town too. It was full of mafia and Italians and crime. And it was a madhouse. And I would see, it was not a healthy environment at all. And so many little parts of this, but I would go on forever. I'll put it in the memoir. So anyways, I got out, and I decided I wanted to go. Well, okay, one of the things that had happened, and this is just to point out that a kind word to somebody can really change their life, I think. There was this one bartender there that I really kind of had a crush on, and one time he said to me something to the point, we were talking or something, and he said something to me like, "You should go to college, you're smart." And nobody had ever said anything to me like that before. Quite the contrary. That was not the message I had gotten. And it was like, wow. and I could go to college. So when I got out of the psych ward, I decided I wanted to go to college. And it just so happened that my mom knew this guy from the Department of Rehabilitation Services, and he told her about a program that would that paid for people who had like a diagnosis, a mental illness diagnosis, to go to college. And I applied and I got it. And I decided I wanted to be a veterinarian. And one of the reasons why I wanted to be a veterinarian was, one of the big reasons was, of course, I loved animals, but I also really kind of wanted to show everybody that I could be a doctor and that I could be it was, a lot of it was like to feed my ego, I think. In other words, well, I don't want to get into all of that, but but something does change, because obviously I'm not a veterinarian, but we'll get to that. Anyways, when I was in high school, I was a very poor student because I didn't apply myself at all. All I wanted to do was get out of high school so I could get away from home. And I did see the value. I did say I'm going to get my high school diploma, but I got it in 3 years, and I did it by taking shop classes. I took welding. I took all of the classes that I thought were easy. They weren't that easy, but I avoided all the sciences, all the math, just took like the very, very minimum to graduate. And I was, not liked by the teachers or anything. I was not I was a mess. I was the problem kid, and it was not the type of high school. Well, actually, that high school did have a lot of kids on drugs and stuff. It was a messed up place, actually. Anyways, so I didn't do good in high school. So when I decided I wanted to be a veterinarian, veterinary school is harder to get into than medical school. Why? It's like the great thing to pick, Laura. And because they basically study the same thing, but there's fewer veterinary colleges with fewer spaces and slots to get in. So I had to study really, really hard. And this does tie into 4th of July. So I had to go to community college, and this Department of Rehabilitation Services was paying for everything. And they said that they would pay for me to go through vet school. They would pay the whole thing. I don't think this program is around anymore, but man, it was a great program. And so, and all because I got a misdiagnosis, because about a year or so later, I think I was having like massive mood swings and things when I was in the hospital that made it look like manic depression, but it wasn't. But anyways, so I went to community college. I studied so hard, found I had a knack for math, not sciences so much. I liked studying. I did well in school. I got straight A's. I applied to the University of Illinois in Champaign, because you have to get, generally you get 4 years, you get a 4-year degree before you go into vet school, and you apply you apply in about your 3rd year. And so I applied to University of Illinois undergrad, and I got in there. And while I was going, before in that summer, I knew that I also needed to get lots of good experience to get into vet school. So I was working at an animal emergency place. Among other veterinarians, I worked with large animals, small animal. I was just doing everything to get one of those slots to get into vet school. And I remember the first 4th of July at the animal emergency. We were so busy, and it was dogs. We had 3 kinds of dogs. We had dogs that had run away and gotten like hit by a car. And we had dogs that had, because they were so scared, their well-meaning owners would take them like to the park or something to watch the fireworks, because they just didn't know. And back then, this was 1985, 86. I don't think we didn't have the internet and stuff. So maybe a lot of people didn't know. And we also had dogs that would have a stroke. They would have a seizure that they got so, just giving her little pieces. I'm going to cut this one. So little Chelsea, because I want to talk uninterrupted. And look at this. The thing is, it's almost 20 minutes and it hasn't zonked out. I'm very happy about that. So anyways, yes, we got all these. We have dogs with seizures, and we'd have dogs that had run away and gotten hurt, and people calling. Sometimes dogs were lost, and they would call the vet. So yeah, if you don't know it, dogs don't take your dog unless you know. Some dogs, it doesn't bother them. Golden retrievers seems to bother them quite a bit. All right, well, this has gone 20 minutes, and I was going to do a little haul video, and I think I will. Let's see if we're in celebration of my getting to 1,000 subscribers for a few minutes. I'm going to do a haul video because I did go to, and I'm going to finish this story in the future, but just bring you up that far so you learn a little bit about me. But yeah, that was life-changing, and I always wonder if that girl in the cocktail lounge wasn't some kind of an angel. People can be angels, I think. Okay, so I went to 2nd Avenue yesterday. They had a 50% off sale, and my back went out. I was going to go today, but even though my back was feeling a little better, my husband said, stay home. You know, I have a hard time just relaxing. I realized that yesterday. I was like, I can relax. You know, I have worked hard all my life. I need to remember to relax a little bit. So I'm staying home today, work on videos. I downloaded the extra storage, so that seems to be going good. Let us see what I bought yesterday. This one, and I was thinking, if I don't think I'll do that today because we are long. I want to do where you're watching me find sell-through, because I think learning sell-through is one of the hardest things to do. For instance, here's what happened the other day. I came across something that was a LeBeau. LeBeau was the brand, and it was 2X. There was no LeBeau at all. It was a sleeveless shift, floral shift, 2 or 3X. 3X, I think it was. And I couldn't find the brand, but when I put in, so if you didn't know that there's other ways you can find out if there's a sell-through, you might have just stopped and put it back. I might have stopped and put it back, but I searched for 3X sleeveless. In other words, I searched for the style and the size and the pattern and everything, and that had like a 300% sell-through. Any kind of style, size, like that. So I bought it, and I think you can do that with lots of different things. I was listening to who was I listening to? Somebody today. It was J Ride Flips, maybe. I think he's somebody new I've been kind of listening to. I don't listen to him all the time, but he said something very, very good about the right title. You know, people, like I have been saying, they're not really, it's not all about the brand. They're searching for a style. Like men especially, I don't think they care so much about brands. You know, they just want the long sleeve, button down, they probably don't even know what a Henley is. My husband didn't know what a Henley was. Long sleeve, button down, striped linen shirt or something like that. So have really good descriptions in there, and think about what you might be looking for if you were somebody looking for it. Always kind of try to put yourself in the try to make a barricade here. You've had enough.